welcome to Shiva Sai's Perseverance Software Training Institute.
Discuss about a very core conceptual implementation of securing our state file. So we actually understood what is a state file in one of the video, right, in the playlist. Okay, so now the requirement is that we should be able to actually secure that state file. We should ensure that it is always safe at any point of time. Okay, so let's firstly discuss now. So usually what happens is, for example, in my case, I have Terraform server in Mumbai, and in Sydney I'm deploying the resources using Terraform. Okay, so here the moment I deploy it, right, I deploy any resource, for example an EC2 instance. So the infrastructure state is saved in this particular server inside state file, which ends with .tf state extension, right. So what is a state file? State file is usually a file where we'll be having the complete a Terraform managing environment. So whatever resources has been deployed using Terraform, right? So all those will be within state file, so that Terraform will get to know which is created, which is not created, which is under its control, and which is not. Everything Terraform ensures that it works with, it have a look in state file. Accordingly, only it will take the decision. But the problem is, in this context, when we talk about, think about when this particular server is crashed, right? We'll lose the entire information of what has been deployed and what is being managed by Terraform, created by Terraform. Everything will be lost, right? So that is one thing. And in case of the enterprise models, right? So it's always good practice to save the state file somewhere centrally, and for example, so just for use case, 3 different engineers working with Terraform, right? So if they want to actually work with Terraform, if we deploy or if we delete, they want to create resources, so what happens is, like, the state file should not be available locally, because if something happens to the environment here, so it's gone, right? If something happens to the Terraform server here, it's gone. So what they will do, they will just install Terraform, but the state file will be actually available in a centralized location. So this is called as Terraform a remote backend. Okay, so a Terraform remote backend is something like the Terraform code anyways will be hosted on a remote repository. Even code in the sense, maybe .tf file, anything as such. But when you come to the state file, it should also be hosted on a centralized, server or centralized location. Okay. So for that reason, ideally, it avoids storing the state file locally and will be available on the central backend, right? So for this case, what happens is, now we ensure that a state file is actually remotely stored, and this is called as Terraform remote backend. It's called as Terraform remote backend. So we are implementing Terraform backend on a remote area, right? So that it is safe all the time. Okay, so we can go with multiple solutions, like in case of Amazon web services, we can go with simple storage service S3. So we have something like console, Azure RM, HCD, Kubernetes. Many of the solutions are available. Okay, so now let's see the implementation part for this. So now what we'll do is, right, so uh, though we have the Terraform server here, maybe in Mumbai, right, we'll store the state file somewhere on the cloud, which is definitely S3, so that any user who want to deploy and work with this particular environment, right, so they can perform any changes, but the remote backend will be available on a central storage S3. Okay, remote backend in sense state file in a remote location. Okay, so this helps us to ensure high availability of the state file, correct? So with no issues. Okay, all right, so let's implement this. It's a very simple configuration. So what we need to do, we need to create an S3 for storing state file remotely. If you want to create that using Terraform, yes, we can do that, correct? This is our bucket. So you can create a bucket. So just go to Amazon Cloud, search for S3. So this is S3, just select it, So now the thing is, we are configuring our remote backend as S3. So now in future what happens is, the moment I deploy any resources, I want to deploy EC2 for example. Okay, so just scan this EC2. So this particular instance will be deployed, but actually in the local server will be able to see that .tf state file extension, right? That will not be available because we're configuring the remote backend. The state file will be actually created and managed on the remote backend, which is our S3. So, and that too in this particular folder. Okay, so folder we call as buckets. So actually we need to create this bucket with a unique name. So it should be between these characters, right? So it is actually, the name should be unique across the globe. Okay, so I have already created one, so I'll be using the same only, but if you want to create, you can create something like, okay, for example, SSP, Shiva Sai perseverance hyphen global hyphen dev hyphen a student, something like that. So go there. If this is unique, it is available. Okay, if it is not, then no. So then you can go forward. If you want to use this object ownership with ACLs, access control list, these are all for security purposes, right? So you can actually control it. I'm just marking disable now. If you want to enable it, and you can have this here. And see, now we need to disable it. Okay, and just click on acknowledge. So actually this is not practiced in the real-time world, so what we need to do according to the company standards and all, right? So I'll be actually doing it, so it will be authorized wherever required only. Okay, so just click on acknowledge. I mean, you are turning off blocking public access. Okay, because the server is in Mumbai, so I'm just want to allow the public access for now, right? So then bucket versioning. So if you want to enable the versions, multiple versions of the same bucket, you can enable it. All right, so that's fine, and these are all encryptions types. Okay, so you can leave that, and maybe bucket key, if you want to enable or disable. See, it is telling using an S3 bucket key for so and so encryption cost. See, this is actually for encrypting the you know uh, for performing the encryption, right, with so and so methods. Okay, right. Disabling the bucket key, so go and click on create bucket, so this will be created. Okay, all right. So meanwhile, what we'll do, we'll go to the code which is available for Terraform backend configuration. So this is the one. So here we have Terraform block. So the block now is within the Terraform block, we have backend, and our solution is S3. So the bucket name, so whatever bucket name we have, we need to highlight here. So let's go to the cloud ones. Okay, it is being created. So once you click on create, it will be created. Okay, I'm just going to buckets. See, because we came out. Okay, you wait until it is created. So this is our bucket, what I have been created, and I'm using this. See, there is nothing in this bucket. Okay, all right. If you go to the bucket, there will be nothing, no data available. See, no objects. So now what happens? So let me show you the code, right? So it is available in a remote backend. So backend is 3. Bucket is this, the same name of my bucket created, and key. If you want to, I mean, inside this bucket, you can keep any name. It's up to you. It's again a folder. So then inside which I'm actually saving my state file, and this is the region. Okay, I'm in Sydney region, so where I want to store my state file. Okay, so yeah, It's taking a lot of time. So anyways, so this is our Sydney region, you know, uh, this is our Sydney region one. Yeah. Why it is taking a lot of time? Not okay. Because here, yeah, okay. So this is the one, okay. AP Southeast, cool. Right, so this is enough for us. So fine, and so we have updated the code for remote backend. Cool here, and we have updated a code for EC2 deployment. Fine, let's do this. Firstly, ensure that you perform Terraform init because our backend should be initialized now, and we need to actually, make use of providers, right? Because we want to deploy EC2, so we need AWS provider. All right, so okay. Now, so I'm just going with Terraform plan. Okay, so it will showcase what will be done in future. It is highly recommended to make use of Terraform plan. Okay, all right. So because it will showcases what I required. Okay, this is our EC2 deployment info, and that's it. Okay, let's do this. Let's give apply or to approve. So now what happens? So here the EC2 will be anyways deployed, but the state file will not be stored in this server because we configured remote backend, right? So here there are no objects, right? So we need to get an object, so which is a perseverance within which we need to get the state file. Okay, let's watch it. Okay, all right, so this is done. Just give a let's see, there will be no state file here, nothing. All right, so but here if you go to refresh it, definitely our perseverance directory will be there, within which you will get to know that your state is saved here. Okay, so yeah, let's wait for it. Come here. Okay, let's refresh the complete web page. Just wait for it. Okay, great. So we are inside our bucket, though we have already deployed. So our state file should be saved inside our remote backend, Terraform remote backend. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It is very slow, and my internet looks good. Let's wait for it. Right. Okay, great. See, we have got perseverance within which our state file will be definitely stored. If you see the date, it is August 23, today's date, right? All right, great. So if you select this and click on open, yeah, you will be able to find your state file here. See, so if you go to our server, so just cat ec2.tf, the name of our instance, local identifier of our AWS EC2 instance is web01. If you see here, it will be web01. Okay, this is the local identifier. So this is how you configure your remote backend to ensure your backend, your state file is secured in a centralized location. Okay, so for example, if you give Terraform destroy as well, let's do this just for a check, right? So give destroy. All right, so now anyways, the complete state file here, so this details will be anyways vanished, right? Because we are destroying it, EC2 will be destroyed. So it should show the, all right, so yeah, destroying. So the motto of this is to ensure not to store the state file locally and enable storage and maintenance of state file remotely on a centralized location to avoid loss of state of the infrastructure. Okay. All right. So if you just give refresh, there will be nothing. Yeah, null. Okay. Resources, nothing. Fine. All right, guys. Thank you so much for the time. I hope this is helpful for you and somewhere you can contribute. Yeah. Thank you.